안녕하세요. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Ooh. Okay, this is on. Cool. Okay, so how are you guys? Oh, I forgot to change the setting. 1 second, guys. 안녕하세요. Hello everyone. 안녕하세요, 안드레아 씨. 안녕하세요. Hi, Foster. 안녕하세요. Let's wait a little bit to have more people here. 잘 지냈어요? How have you been? Oh, this tea is so hot. Hi, Mispa. How are you? 잘 지냈어요? Okay. Good. 좋아요. Lovely. 좋아요. Fantastic. 안녕하세요, 제니 씨. How are you guys this weekend? 안녕하세요, 미나 씨. 잠시만요. I need to share the link, isn't it? Yeah, there's so many things to set up. I mean, oh la la. 좋아요. 1 second. I understand Korean but can't spell or speak yet. Yeah, that's a problem, right? Have you guys watched all my previous classes? This is our 5th lesson, right? For the absolute beginner level, right? There are some like 4 other videos that you can watch. Lovely. 좋아요. Where is it? There. Cool. Did you guys watch my previous videos? Yeah? Did you guys have any questions from it? Yeah? All good. Any questions you have? Oh, lovely. That's good. 좋아요. Okay, I think we should start now, right? So today will be a little bit small. 안녕하세요, 벨라 씨. Will be a little bit less. Not. I mean, we can do 1 hour. However, today maybe just better to do 30 minutes or so, something like that. 민경 씨 안녕하세요. Let's see. Okay. 좋아요. 자, 오늘 today we will learn numbers. We'll continue with numbers, right? Are you guys testing, like practicing the numbers, right? 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. Not only counting, but you need to be able to say, like if I say, what's 6? You need to be able to say immediately, right? What's 6, guys? 6. 6. Six in 한글. 6. That's correct. 한글 숫자. That's what we've been doing so far, right? 한글 숫자. There we go, right? 6. You need to be able to say it immediately instead of like calculating, like, you know, counting like 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯. That's a bit, you know, that's not what you should do, right? You have to be able to say immediately, right? Without thinking. So definitely need to practice, guys, okay? All right, so we were doing counters, right? We were doing 살. There are so many different counters. So let's actually try to make some sentences, all right? So, okay, so let's say, can I have 2 cups of tea, green tea, please? Can I have 2 cups of green teas, please? How will you guys say? 2 cups of green teas. Green tea, how do we say green tea in Korean then, right? Green tea. Green tea. It's called 녹차 in Korean. So tea is 차, correct? 차. And 녹 is kind of dark green kind of color. 녹차, right? 녹차. 제니 씨, almost. 녹차, okay? Not 뉴, 녹차, okay? So, can I have 2 cups of green tea, please? Anyone? 녹차. Noun first. 2 cups. Cup. Please, can I have some, please? Asking. 주세요. 5? 녹차 5? No. 5 is 5, wasn't it? I said 2. 2 cup 주세요, right? I did spell it as how you had it. Then I changed it. Gotcha. Yeah, 녹차, right? 안녕하세요, 무디 씨. 알라 무디 씨. 녹차 2 cup 주세요. Okay? So, how do we say there are 3 cats? Actually, let's say 3 dogs. There are 3 dogs. There are 3 dogs. There are 3 dogs. There are 3 dogs. So we need to use the counter, right, again? So noun first. Okay. 3. 하나, 둘, 셋. Right? 세. You're using with the counter, so not 셋 anymore. 세. And then counters for dog, animals. What was it, guys? Anyone, if you can make the sentence, please do so. 세 마리, correct. 마리. There are, 있어요. So, we learned it, 있어요, as how? 있어요 here. Have, right? So, I'm gonna mention it, but here, there are, it can be to have, or there are. 있다, 있어요, right? 개, 3마리 있어요. 강아지, by the way, Malika, 강아지 is a bit more puppy, alright? Not 개. 개 is just total, like all type of just dog, including puppies, right? So 강아지 is puppies, 개, dog, And there is actually another way of calling the dogs. Do you know, guys? We call it 멍멍이. 멍멍이. That's actually the way the dog barks, right? 멍멍, right? 멍멍. Off, or those kind of mimetic words. Yeah, it's not really mimetic words, is it? It's onomatopoeia, right? So that is 멍멍. So we use it as 멍멍이, right? 멍멍이. Yep, that's another. Just like those kind of words, we do use it, yes. However, it's more like for kids, we're gonna say that, right? 멍멍이, 댕댕이 as well, because do you guys know why some people, or these days, people started to use 댕댕이 these days? I was a bit shocked when I recognized it. I had to figure it out as well. Why? 댕댕이, why? 개 세 마리 is perfect. Yes, that's correct. 말리카 씨, why 댕댕이? 왜 댕댕이? Because if you make it a little bit more, extend this D a little bit, then it kind of become M, right? Imagine you are writing it like this way. 맞아요. Close, right? 에. So it looks so similar each other, so it became M, right? That's why it says, people started to say 댕댕이 these days. It hasn't been that long, by the way. It's quite recent. 네, 말리카 씨 맞아요. 쓸 때 비슷해서 그래요. It's quite similar when you look at the writing. That's why, okay? So K is the original though, right? Let's keep the original, right? 개 세 마리 있어요. 좋아요. Let's say we are actually not really we are. I just want you guys to practice or remember it. So let's say one, right? One man and two women and three kids. So we just need to figure it out how to use and, right? 하나 남자, it's not really correct. I guess you didn't watch the previous video, right? So when you're using counter, you have to put noun first. This one, I'll change the color for you. Noun first, number next, and then counter, right? And then when you're using counter, you must change these words. 하나 turns back to, not back, turns into 한. 둘 turns to 두. 셋 becomes 세. 넷 as well, 네, right? So one man and two women and three kids. So so not 한 남자, right? 하나 남자, you need to put the noun first. 남자. 네, 맞아요. 남자 한, but 말리카 씨, you have to be careful. The space, you have to put the space in between the number and the counter. Okay? 남자 한 명. And how do we say and? So and can be 하고. 하고 would be the easiest one. Okay? Noun and noun. That case you put 하고. Or 랑. 랑. 랑 is also and as well. And by the way, if there's a bottom consonant, you must put 이랑. Okay? 남자 한 명이랑 or 남자 한 명하고 여자 두 명 하고, same thing. So you have to put it. So if you start using 하고, then you must continue with 하고. 하고. Or if you've been using 이랑, 남자 한 명이랑 여자 두 명이랑, you should use 이랑 again, right? And then 아이 3명, correct. Tsukimi 씨, well done. Yeah, that's correct. 아이 3명. Perfect. 남자 1명. 안드레아 씨, yeah, getting that. 미달 씨 잘했어요. 여자들, you don't have to, so this, you know, like you already put 2명. That's plural, right? You clarified that it's 2 people, so you don't really, in Korean, that's obvious, isn't it? That's more than 1 person. So we usually skip plural form because it's obvious. You know what I mean? If it's obvious, we will skip it, the plural form, I mean, right? So of course, technically it should be 들, right? As a women, right? But because we identified 2명, so we skip it. Does it make sense? We have to use the 이랑 in every place one time. One time we used before. Yeah, you must. 1명이랑 2명이랑. The reason why you skip it is because you put the commas, right? 남자 1명, 여자 1명, that's commas. But we can't really say it, commas. 남자 1명, comma. Like we don't do that, right? So that's why 남자 1명, 여자 1명, like that, right? So instead, we put these, okay? And then, by the way, some of you guys might know this 와 and 과 as well, right? 와 and 과, however, this one is also an, like noun and noun. Yes, that's correct. However, I will say this one is a little bit more written form. Of course, we do say it in spoken sentence as well. However, written, it's a bit more, it sounds a little bit written form or a bit more too polite way. Okay, so instead of using 와 and 과, 하고 오랑, that's more casual. Okay, very good. So yeah, we were using lots of different counters, right? What about 또? 또 is also, right? So if you want 남자 1명 또, no, we don't do that. Okay, 남자 1명 하고 또, you have to do and also, you have to put it, right? And even in English, a man and also, then you have to put 또 after. Not really have to, but 또 means another. It's not and, okay? 또 means also or again. 또 means again, actually. 또, again. 네, 잘했어요, 안드레아 씨. That's how you do. All right. 병, we got lots of different counters as well. 책 한 권, 종이 2장, like that, right? 장 was the counter as well, right? There are a bit more counters that you guys have to use. All right. So let me remove this one. All right, so that was the counter we've been using, right? Don't we have to use 들? No, again, yeah, I just said technically, yeah. However, in Korean, I mean, you already said to here. We don't really, it's obvious, so we don't say it. We don't put here. In Korean, we don't really care about the plural form much, right? It doesn't matter if it's a singular or plural. And yeah, generally we just identify by the number instead of making it plural. Okay, that's actually the reason why Koreans always make this plural singular mistake, right? Because it's a bit different language, right? So next one I want you guys to remember will be 대. This one is for electronic devices. I, Andrea 씨, I, or some people they make it short, 에, right? But that's a shorten. Technically, it's I, right? For electronic devices or vehicles, right? These ones we do use 대. Okay? 대. So, for example, a car, one car. Actually, let's put the car, right? One car. 자동차. One, 한, and then counter, this one, 대. 자동차 한 대. 자동차, it has a meaning of automobile, right? Automobile. So sometimes we do skip 자동 as well. Just 차 can be 차. However, as I said, just in the beginning of the lesson, 녹차, 차 means the tea as well. So we get confused sometimes. That's why you can also say 자동차, 자동, automatic, auto, 차, car. Okay? Let's say two buses. Two buses. 버스 두 대. Okay? Or even like a phone, right? Phone, one phone. So 핸드폰, right? One. So this is a thing, like one phone. Generally, people have only one. So of course, we don't really put the counter with it. Like we just say 핸드폰 있어요, or we just use it as it is. But when you're using like how many phones or just phones, right? Overall, 핸드폰. So let's say 3 phones. Let's actually put it. 핸드폰. 3, 세 대. Or TV 4대. Or 냉장고 한 대. 냉장고. What's 냉장고, guys? 냉장고. Refrigerator, fridge, right? 냉장고. Like that. 냉장고 한 대. Any type of electronic devices, I would say. Okay. 카메라 as well. 카메라 한 대. Right? 카메라 2대. 컴퓨터 한 대. Of course. All right. There's one extra I want to go through is 나무. Tree. There are lots of different counters, guys, right? Don't feel too overwhelmed with this one. Again, you will eventually pick it up, okay? Just focus on the general one that we will use in general, right? In daily life. Tree, counter, tree for counter for trees is 그루. If someone asked for example, how many books did you get? Yep, we were gonna go through that very soon. Okay, so 그루, that's the counter, right? Imagine Gru as the Guardians of Galaxy. There's a tree character, right? Groot, right? So imagine that. 그루. 한 그루, 두 그루, 세 그루, 네 그루, right? 한 개, 두 개, 한 명, 두 명, 한 마리, 두 마리, right? So 개, if you don't know the counter, and if is an object, put 개, yes. All right. So there are many different things, right? Book 한 권, right? So, okay, so there are lots of different counters, right? And there are some extra counters that we have to use. So far we were using the 한글 numbers, right? 한글 숫자. This time you're using 한자 숫자. There are some counters using 한자 숫자. Yep, 한 권, right? But I think she meant by the book as how many books, right? We'll get to there very soon. 한자 숫자, right? The other number system, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, there are several. 민경씨, if you remember something, if you remember the number, the counter, please let me know. What I remember right now is floors. When we count floors. Because the thing is, there are tons of buildings, right? And then, do we count? I mean, it's possible to count. However, nobody really counts it, right? It's just how it is, right? So floors, it can go like really a higher number, right? So we use 한자 숫자. So we use 한자 숫자 with a counter, right? There are certain counters we use 한자 숫자, right? There are certain ones, but imagine the certain ones can go a bit higher number. It doesn't like not require counting it as it is, like as the floors or the page, you know, for example. So floor is 층. So 1층, 2층, 3층, 4층. By the way, tip here. So tip here, ground floor, by the way, guys. Ground floor, it's not ground floor in Korean. There is no zero floor. So outside of Korea, there's a zero, right? Ground floor, and then first floor, second floor, right? In Korean, or in Korea, I would say in Korea, there is a 영층, right? We say 1층 as a ground floor. So the 1층 in Western country can be, sorry. Yeah, 1층 in ground floor. That can be 2층 in Korea, right? It's a bit confusing, right? 2층. And then pages, as I mentioned a bit. Pages. So open page 35 or 398, something like that, right? So we are not counting the pages, right? Like not like 1, 2, 3. We don't go there. We just know the number, absolute number, right? So that's 쪽. That's why we use 한자 숫자, right? 1쪽, 2쪽, 3쪽, 4쪽. Yes, the ground floor in Korea is actually 1층. Okay? There are many different 한자 숫자 counter. 민경 씨, are you there? If you remember any of 한자 숫자 counter, please let me know. Okay? The useful ones. So, yeah. So whenever comes up, like, oh, how do we say this one how do we count this one with a counter? If you get confused, and we were going to add up onto it, okay? Like whenever it comes, we will learn it. So at the moment, just focus on the essential counters, okay? Yep. So here, when you're making a question, so we know how to say just directly like that, right? When we are making question, as Tsukimi-shi said or asked, right? For example, it's like that. So, for example, let's actually grab the word. Let's use this word, all right? The sentence. So, in Korean, I told you guys, when you're making a question, you just put the question mark in the end. So, if you say this one, 개 3마리 있어요? 개 3마리 있어요? 있어요? Question, right? 개 3마리 있어요? So that, are there 3 dogs? That's what it meant, right? But if you don't know the number, how are you going to say, right? I mean, in English, it would be how many books are there or how many dogs are there. It would going to be a bit different. But in Korean, again, the number with a counter, right? So when you're making question, so when you don't know the numbers yet, right? The number, if you don't know the number yet, you have to add, instead of the number, you have to add 몇. Correct. 개 몇 마리 있어요? And by the way, be careful with the pronunciation, guys. The ts and then m. this one, it's not 몇 마리. It's a bit tough, right? We want to say it soft to become 몇 마리. 몇 마리. Pronunciation, okay? We write it 몇, and then we read it 몇 마리 together. Okay? 몇 마리. 개 몇 마리 있어요? How many dogs are there? Right? Let's say how many trees are there? Actually, let's say how many trees are there in the park. In the park. Okay? So we didn't learn this one yet, right? Let's actually learn the extra on top, right? So park, the park in Korean, 공원. And this in. So in Korean, preposition is quite simple, by the way, guys. So it would be like in, to, on, under, at, those, all those kind of thing. That's a preposition, right? 에. You need to add 에. Alright? Attach it to the word right before, right? So we need to start from the back, find the subject, but in this case there is no subject. In the park first. 공원에 말리카 씨 잘했어요. You're definitely not a beginner, right? Well done. 공원에 how many trees? 나무, the noun first. So I think this is the way, the reason why I keep telling people, don't think in English. Don't think in your own language, unless it's Japanese, right? Japanese might be same, right? 공원에 나무, tree, and how many? So we say noun first, number next. So we don't know the number yet, so we put 몇 here, right? 나무 몇. Make sense, guys? And then counter, 그루. You don't remember any of them? And how many are there? Are there? Oh, sorry. Are there in the park? So, 있어요. 공원에 나무 몇 그루 있어요? 공원에 나무 몇 그루 있어요? Okay? 몇, simple, alright? So let's talk about the time and date really quick, okay? So, time. Let's talk about time. How do we say time in Korean? Time. 시간. Right? First thing, 시간. You can use 시간 as a counter as well, right? So something, so some 시간. That means hours, right? Something hours. 1시간, 2시간, 3시간, 4시간, 5시간, 6시간, 7시간, right? Alright, so if you want to say a clock, right? That's 시. So 시 and 시간 is different, guys, okay? So something, let me actually make it a bit short. Something 시, no, longer is fine. Something 시, something 분. What is seconds? We don't really put seconds in general, but good to know, right? 초. Alright, so 시 means o'clock. O'clock. 시. Alright, it's not hour, it's o'clock. 분, minutes. 초, seconds. Okay? The rule is o'clock. Think about it. O'clock. There are limit, right? There's a range of it. 1 to 12. There is no 0 o'clock. There is no 13 o'clock, right? Am I right? So that you put 한글 숫자 here. 1시, 2시, 3시, 4시, 5시, 6시, right? Minutes. We do put, because think about it, the range is there's no 0 분, right? 1 to 59, is it? No, actually, you can actually say way more than that, right? So like, for example, put this one into the oven for 300 minutes, something like that. It can be higher, all right? It can be really way higher. That's why we put, 한자 숫자. Okay, 한자 숫자. And then seconds, same reason, this, right? Same reason. So we put 한자 숫자 as well. Wrong one here. Okay, so for example, I would like to say, let's actually ask first. Well, actually, you know what? It'll confuse you. Let's say it's, so it's is actually, we don't say it in Korean, right? It's 4:55 p.m. 4:55 in the UK. Right? Let's try to say this sentence. This is right now. So UK, what was it? 영국. 영국은 you can also add now as well. Now, 지금. 지금, now. 영국은 지금, or 지금 영국은, depends, right? Just, it's interchangeable. 영국은 지금 4:55. How do we say? 네, 4시 55. 55분. We didn't learn these numbers yet, but I showed you 1 to 10, right? 5, 10, 5. That's how you do. So 5, 10, right? 5 times, it's more like 55 will be like 5 times 10 plus 5, right? Basically. So 55. That's how it is. It's not really math, of course, but just 5, 10, 5. That's how you need to do when you count numbers. All right. Same as 한글 숫자, right? 11. So, but I mean, not really same, right? No, it's not. Yeah. Sorry about that. So, 영국은 지금 4시 55분. Finish the sentence. Don't forget, finish the sentence. Yeah. Okay. I usually remember it's as like a fake subject, okay? We don't really say it. Okay. 영국은 지금 4시 55분이에요. Alright? Then, if you want to ask question, what time is it? What's the time? What time is it? Right? Then, there's a format, right? But we don't know the number yet. So that you, instead of putting the number, you put 몇 instead, right? So, 몇 시. There's a space. There's always space, okay? 몇 시. And then generally we just use 시 only. You can answer with minute or not, but 몇 시예요? Okay. If you want to be specific, 몇 시 몇 분이에요? 몇 시 몇 분이에요? Alright. 몇 시 몇 분이에요? 몇 시 몇 분이에요? Okay. Date. Let's do quick date. Date is also simple as well. Do you guys know how to say date in Korean? 날짜. 날짜. So, something has to be. So we need to know the order, right? Actually, this, 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 and this, right? What is it? We put year first. Okay, and then month, and then we put date, and then in the end, if it's necessary, we put days. Okay, so what's the counters? All counters, right? We have to put the counter together. We don't really just say 2020, 2021. What I'm saying, 2021, we don't do that. 2021 year, that's what you need to add, right? Which is 년. 맞아요. Month, we have a counter, so it's really simple. We don't have to remember every January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. We don't have to memorize everything. It's just very, very simple. Date, 일, right? And then one extra thing, days, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? That's 요일, by the way. And then we don't use number. That's the thing. Okay, no number. So, first one, years. By the way, guys, this, all of them, that's actually Chinese characters, okay? 한자 word. So that we use 한자, 숫자 for all of them. We just need to learn how to say 100 and 1,000, right? So, for example, we learned, so 1 to 10, right? Just think about this one. Remember, remove this. Scrap this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? What's 100? 100. What's 1,000? 1,000. All right. So, how do we say 2021 then? 2000, literally same thing. 2000, 2000, so 2000, 1000, so that's 2000, right? 20, 20, and then 1. 2000, let's just change it to all of Korean, right? 2000, 100 doesn't exist, so we don't even mention it, right? 20, 21, 1. 2021. We don't do 2020. We don't do 2021. No, we never do that, okay? We have one syllable, you know. No necessary to do so. 2021. So, 2021년, what's the date today? What's the date? The date is 1월, January, right? 1월. So basically, 2021, we do write Arabic number, guys, by the way. 2021년 1월, and then 1. Right now, currently is 16th, by the way, in Korea. Sorry, in the UK. So, 2021년 1월 16일, and then finish the sentence all the time, guys. Yeah. Of course, if you want to say today, you can actually say today is this date, right? Today is 오늘. 오늘은, you have to put the particle, right? 오늘은, so today는, today equal, 오늘은 2021년 1월 16일이에요. Okay, so you guys need to practice quite a bit, right? If you're a beginner. Malika, you're doing very good. 좋아요. So that's the 날짜. We will learn about it another time, by the way, guys. Actually, I made a video about it, didn't I? Maybe. I don't remember. Yeah. But it's quite simple, right? We'll go through it, or you can actually just learn. I have to go to my other lessons right now. So yeah, let's not talk about it at the moment. We'll go through it next lesson, okay? Do you guys have any questions, guys? You always need to. This is a problem, by the way. Lots of people, although they became like intermediate level or something, but somehow it's so difficult for people memorizing the numbers for some reason. Then everyone, it seems like not quite a lot of people, they get confused with numbers, right? People don't even know what's numbers in Korean. That's the problem, right? Because maybe they're too overwhelmed with the two different number systems. Maybe that's why, like, ooh, what's numbers in Korean? Like numbers in Korean, seriously, nobody knew. I was like, what? That's 숫자, numbers, 숫자, right? So there is a 한글 숫자, 한자 숫자, right? 한글 숫자 하나 둘 셋 넷. It's for counting, right? 한자 숫자 1, 2, 3, 4. These things, that's for date, right? That certain numbers, or even phone numbers, or those kind of thing, we use this 한자 numbers, 한자 숫자. Okay. All right. This was all very helpful. Lovely. Thank you so much for saying that. All right. Any questions, guys? All good? All right. Please review, because numbers, again, very important. Lots of people, they do learn numbers so quickly, like in the first place, right? And then they have forgotten how to use numbers, right? Every time when I say, oh, what's the time? 몇 시예요? They're like, oh, and then they say 일시. I'm like, no, it's a 한시, okay? 한시. And then also date. What's the date, right? If you want to ask the date, 날짜, then you need to say 몇 월, 몇. Again, question. The number you don't know yet, you put 몇, okay? 몇 something. 몇 월 며칠이에요? 몇 월 며칠이에요? 오늘 몇 월 며칠이에요? Or, I mean, month can be a bit obvious sometimes, right? 오늘 며칠이에요? 오늘 며칠이에요? 오늘은 16일이에요. Some of you guys probably in the other side of the world, the earth, right? So maybe 17일이에요, right? But at the moment, I feel majority of us, we are in 16th, right? 16일이에요. Okay? So you can also ask, your birthday is this date, right? You can make a question. So when is your birthday? 생일은, or 생일이, you wonder, when is the birthday? 생일이 몇 월, 몇 일, right? So I'm gonna go through it next lesson, okay? 몇 월, 며칠이에요. The pronunciation, be careful with the pronunciation. 몇 월, 며칠이에요. Try to copy the sound first. Spelling is later, okay? Like that's the last thing you need to do. 몇 월, 며칠이에요. My pronunciation changes. It's not 몇, it's 치 disappears, right? 몇 월, 며칠이에요. Alright? So, alright, very good. Thank you, guys. I have to jump into the lesson. I'm a little late, so okay. 잘했어요. And then I'll try to make some videos for absolute beginners. Yeah, I'll try to record something today, but problem is I don't have the actual camera. That's why I'm using like my phone or something, and then it's just really it's not really very ideal quality because I'm inside, I'm indoor. It's basically, it has to have some light, like good lights and stuff, but I've got nothing. So yeah, I'm just worried about this kind of, you know, the quality of the videos. Unfortunately, is so bad, so I'm kind of losing my motivation to edit or even record it, because I feel it's like, ugh, you know. But anyway, Alright, 감사합니다. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Alright, next week. The time can be changed all the time, right? Sorry about that. I don't know who, like, because you guys are everywhere in the world, so it's really tricky for me to set the time all the time. I could do, so the Wednesday one is always in the evening. As for upper beginner level, right? This one is the beginner level, and we are doing it around 2 to 4, around like 1 to 4 p.m. or something like that, around this time, right? Not early, not too late, but now I feel like we had to have some 2 different time zones, so at least somebody, at least like in one side of the world, can actually be live as well. Okay, so anyways, 감사합니다. 네, 고마워요, 말리카 씨. 네, and then see you next time. Alright, 안녕히 계세요. Bye bye.